we go. Hello. Hi. Let's get started on the main story again. Rather than bore you with lengthy explanations, head back to the farm we passed earlier. UP's halo is called. Speak with one of the farmers when we arrive. I guess we're up to UP's halo. Would it be like UPA? You know, it's been like silent for ages. As soon as I start recording, car, lorry. Hey. Tell you what, back shortly. There we go, sorry about that. Just close my window. Allow me to introduce you to Mahusfa, one of the most experienced farmhands in all of Alexandria. He's well versed in myriad farming techniques indeed. Indeed, the wealth of knowledge she has shared with other farmers is what allowed this place to flourish. It's theme. Do I owe this sudden shower of praise? My apologies for the interruption. I'm come with guests from beyond the barrier. They wish to learn more of Alexandria, so I invited them to see how crops are grown. I do hope that's alright. So, the rumours of visitors from outside were true. What manner of host would be to deny them a look around? And I gather your majesty is also intended to check on things here? You know me too well, Mahotva. I felt to see this opportunity to see how farmers fare, and perhaps pepper them with a few questions. Though I do so enjoy observing and taking part in the work too. It would appear we have her permission, so please, walk around the grounds to your heart's content. Go on ahead, I'll keep Sphinx company. Alrighty. Don't misunderstand, I'm not the suspicious type, but given our positions, it would make sense for us to go around together, wouldn't you say? Fair point. But be sure not to let me out of your sight. Just remained under Bucklemat's watchful eye. Pray, come find us when you've seen your fill and spoken with the other farmhands. Sorry, my voice might be a little bit all over the place because it's like the first I've spoken today, really. It's the first I've really needed to speak over the past like 2 days. Right, it's Wednesday now. Didn't speak much on Monday. Pretty much once I got out of work, I spoke. Light levels appear to be fine. As for the power source, you should know about my job. I tend to the fields, mostly. Water the crops, keep the soil fertile, and so on. It admittedly took some time to fully understand how best to carry out my duties. I also manage the lamps we use in the fields. We do our best to keep everything up to code. But should they start to malfunction, it's up to me to fix them. The land and sky being what they are, ensuring a rich harvest for constant work. But honestly, I enjoy how involved the process is. Both my parents being Alexandrian, I didn't know much. I didn't grow up knowing much about much of anything about farming. Every day is an opportunity to learn and grow. Oh, an unfamiliar face. I gather this is your first time on site then? First time in the dome, really. Well, this is the storehouse, or rather the entrance. The real storehouse is underground. Much more spacious, and equipped with a temperature regulation system to keep the harvest from spoiling. This entrance is so small it's easy to prevent wild beasts from wandering inside, which also makes it a viable facility for breeding and raising livestock. We've even got a few beds down there for emergencies. My parents often complain about how Alexandrian technology and electroscope complicate our lives. But it's just a matter of learning how things work. Take my job, for instance. I'm presently overseeing the storage of harvested crops. So they'll be taken up to the tower for processing, and from there find their way to every dining table in Alexandria. Work is hard, I'll not deny, but I take great satisfaction in what we do. I really worried for a second that I'd left my microphone muted, just about to check. If that had happened, I'd have to stop the recording, go all the way back over there, abandon the quest and pick you back up. You and yours are from beyond the barrier, is that true? Yeah. So it is. Means we're connected to the outside world again. Not that I've decided to leave, mind you. I'm quite content with my life here in Alexandria. But setting aside, you're here to observe our work, right? As you can see, I'm in charge of livestock. Here at UPS Halo, we produce not only fruits and vegetables, but also meat, poultry and eggs. Tending the animals is an absolute joy, but I have to be careful not to grow attached. It's always sad when they're shipped off, but the job's a job. Well, I need to get back to it. But it was nice talking to you. Please give my regards to the Queen. Oh yeah, if we ever have to go back to the other zones, I got my flying sword. We're not going to be stuck like moving at this speed, or stuck to the ground. See, you're behaving too hard on yourself. Anyone would have been hard pressed to deal with such a thing. Oh, welcome back. My apologies for failing to notice your return. I gather you've had your fill of speaking to the farmers. Then let's return to my house fair. So. Well, what are your impressions of the farm? As a matter, everyone loves their work. Curious observation. Do you not love your own work? Oh, but I jest. It's true that the people of the outskirts seem the most fulfilled. Always they take to their duties with such good cheer. What do you think of our little Lemity? What do you call me? Was that inappropriate? I apologize, I had the others call you by that name and I thought... No, it's fine. As you said before, no need for titles and formalities. As for my thoughts, I was very impressed. The machines could be used to overcome such harsh environment is amazing. I've never seen anything like it. It's understandable, and indeed many still find our machinery the machinery behind me baffling. The system that controls the distribution of water for the fields and livestock. It's been acting up lately though. Acting up, you see? You needn't worry, my queen. It happens fairly often. Put simply, It's taken in water that had a strong lightning charge. I think some creatures have become charged up with the energy, and they're releasing it into the river as resources. The system would return to normal if the creatures were dealt with, but I'm reluctant to beg of the army. Yeah, we could probably deal with that. We could take care of it if you like. Looks gracious of you to offer, but it's much too dangerous. Oh, it's no trouble. For the vow of resolve of Tuliolal, regardless of how the relationship between our nations may develop, if there are people in need, I want to help. Simple as that. This time it's even stronger than I am. It won't take us long at all. Then, very well. I gratefully accept, but please take all care. So to go even faster, if you and I search the lightning charge fiends on our own. Oh, search for them, sorry. Good hunting. Yeah, the fact that there's stuff wrong with the land, which they're having to try and fix. Those sort of lightning charged things causing issues in the water. I am wondering if this is the one that was well, flooded, I suppose. Or if it was, if they did have like a flood of lightning here. Things be more lightning-ified. Maybe after a certain amount of time it'll revert to normalcy, or maybe this world had some sort of defense from the lightning initially. So people have managed to like expand out from that. I don't know. Oh, I keep forgetting to paint things first. I do feel like this is a world that was destroyed to bring about the second Umbral Calamity though. Wait, no. So they'd made a mistake with the 13th. I'm not sure. I know that they made a mistake with the 13th, so that became the Void. As they dubbed it, a useless Void. I think that was supposed to be the first one. Tell you what, I'm going to pause for a second. I need to look this up. Okay, so the first Umbral era was aspected towards wind. It's said to be the end of the Age of Gods. So it wasn't the first Umbral era that it was done. The second Umbral era was aspected to lightning. which I'm assuming when this one was done. The third was aspected to fire. That would be another reflection gone. The fourth was a great earthquake. That would be another one. The fifth was a severe glaciation. And there's the endless age of frost. The age of endless frost. So the fifth is an age of ice. The sixth. Okay, so the sixth was where we had all the void stuff happening. So that was where the Nim was destroyed. I believe Mach and Amdapor were also destroyed. And then we start the game on the 7th. God, I hate this webpage, so the adverts keep changing and it keeps breaking. Okay, I'm just going to click exit page because sod it. So yeah. We had wind, fire, oh no. Wind, thunder, earth, fire, ice, void, and whatever we just had with Bahamut, I'm not sure what that one could be classed as. We averted the 8th Umbral Calamity, which was going to be a flood of light over Shadowbringer's place. Northrend, I think it was. Then they were going to try and end the world. We stopped that. And then I suppose this could be another attempt at the 8th Umbral Calamity. Let's hope we can stop this one as well. Ah, both alright, thank goodness. Really needn't have worried so much. We barely broke a sweat dealing with those fiends. They're all gone now. Also, I was worried you, my dear guests. But thank you, we truly appreciate this. Indeed. Yes, we won't have to ask Saralja's machines for help. Making a concerted effort to bolster his forces, caring about a fraction of for the people's protection. Thinks nothing of our safety, unlike Queen Sphene. That's enough, Mahusa. If you have grievances, I will hear them later, but to speak of the king now. No, she's right. He's never been one to look after his people. Anyway, thanks for letting us tour the farm. Folk here are delightful. It was a pleasure to meet them. Couldn't have favoured us with more uplifting words. My people are my pride and joy. You never fail to let us know how much you care. Of course, you're my precious family, all of you. You seem a good sort, Sphene, that I'll admit. But you forgive me if I'm not ready to lower my guard for the enemy queen just yet. Need to be called that. I dread to imagine what villainy your majesty has committed. Come now, this is no laughing matter. A ruler is responsible for the welfare of countless lives. A wrong decision can lead to untold suffering. Failure is unconscionable. Now, I believe we're done with the farm. Let's move on, shall we? Perhaps we should head back to the outskirts. I dare say your friends will also have returned by now. My thanks again for dealing with the fiends. Come visit us anytime. Right, I just need to set myself out a drink. I shall be back. Again. Right, where are we going? Over this way. Yeah, it has me wondering, like, if they failed with the 13th, were they also about to fail with the... I don't know which reflection Northrend was, but were they also about to fail with that one? Oh wait, it's the first. It's the first, we're on the source. You hear that? I hear what?
What's happening over there?
It's nearly time.
Time for...
I'm glad you could make it. Are you with us?
Queen Sphene has come to see you.
We're here, Namika. Everything is going to be all right.
Oh.
What's the matter, dear?
It can't be. That's the bangle I gave to Namika.
You know her?
Of course I know her. She was like a mother to me.
I see. She was always willing to lend a kindly ear to others, but rarely did she ever speak of herself.
Is it really you?
She must have arrived shortly before the barrier manifested. For us it was perhaps days, but for her...
Namika, it's me! Wuklamat!
I'm afraid her time with us is nearly at an end. Has she no more soul cells?
She always used hers sparingly, but at her age, it wouldn't make a difference.
Ma'am, the ushers have arrived.
Thank you, Namika, for your many years of friendship. Take comfort in the knowledge that this is not the end. Be not afraid. Your memory will live on, in us.
Living on in memory. The giants share a similar belief. Wait, where are you taking her?
Worry not. She is being escorted to a medical facility in the tower. There we will ease her burden. I had hoped to make arrangements for her sooner, but she wished to remain here for as long as possible. I could not bring myself to refuse her.
Is there any way I might stay with her for a little while longer? We may not share the same blood, but she was my mother. Please.
Let us give them some time alone.
She didn't speak, but I'm grateful that I could be with her at the end. Thank you.
It's not the end.
Hmm?
Oh, nothing. I was just thinking that we have much to discuss. Where shall we begin?
With what we can be reasonably certain of, perhaps. Between what we have witnessed and the testimony of Alexandria's inhabitants, it's safe to say that two distinct lands have indeed become one. What's more, having met Namika, there is no denying the divergence in the passage of time. Taken together, these phenomena strongly suggest that some manner of cross-rift displacement has occurred. Specifically, the displacement of Alexandria from another reflection to the source.
It does seem the most likely explanation.
What perplexes me, however, is the scale of said displacement. It far exceeds what could conceivably be achieved with a void gate, or even with the Crystal Tower. In essence, we are dealing with a localized instance of dimensional compression. The Ascians would no doubt liken it to a rejoining. Which invites the question, how was such a feat accomplished?
I wish that I had an answer for you, but this talk of reflections and dimensions is well beyond my understanding. I can only tell you that we lived peacefully under the barrier's protection for many, many years, until the day that peace was suddenly broken.
If I may clarify, the barrier predates Alexandria's displacement.
By several hundred years, yes. To when the continent we call home was ravaged by a devastating cataclysm.
Knew it. Okay, so this tower protected them, what was left of them, from well, for lack of a better term, a wave of lightning energy. There will still be stuff that is corrupted by the lightning energy seeping in, but they've had this is the world that was ravaged by the Second Emerald Calamity, or was ravaged leading to the Second Emerald Calamity.
The barrier was erected to isolate us from the surrounding land's noxious influence.
I see. And it was only later that it was whisked away, along with its contents, by means unknown.
In other words, Sphyn's as lost as the rest of us, right? The Alexandrians didn't mean to end up in Tural.
Ah, but of course, our next stop ought to be Everkeep. That tower over yonder. Once you have been registered as my guests, you will have access to Solution 9 and its residential district, where you will doubtless gain invaluable insight into Alexandria's state of affairs. Unfortunately, I cannot take you directly to where Zoralja resides.
That you'd let us in it all goes a long way toward proving you're not content to let Zoralja do as he pleases. But we're not talking about a simple difference of opinion here. I've come to avenge my father. And to do so, I intend to take Zoralja's life. Are you willing to stand by and allow Alexandria's king to be slain?
A fair question. Permit me to answer it thus. My people come first. Their welfare is paramount. I will do everything in my power to keep them from harm. It is a ruler's duty. Now, I am off to register you at Everkeep. It may take some time, but you shall find the entrance open to you in due course. Oh, and ere I forget, your mother, Kafkiwa, you might try the Thunder Yards to the east.
The Thunder Yards? Is that where she is?
I'm afraid I can say no more than that. Make for the Thunder Yards, and all will be made clear.
That's a weird way to put things.
It's not as if we have other pressing business. Not until we can get into this Everkeep anyway. Thank you for earlier. And for being a friend to Namika these past 30 years. It means a lot to me.
Namika? I'm sorry, but I don't know who you mean.
What? We were just with her. If this is some sort of a joke, it isn't funny.
I don't mean to give offense, but I honestly have no idea who you are talking about.
How can you not know who she is? You're in charge here. She was under your care.
Then in all likelihood, my memories of her have been stored in the cloud.
What is cloud gaming?
Any person seemingly forgotten without reason is probably there, in the cloud. Oh, I really must be getting back to work. If you'll excuse me.
That's weird. There's nothing else to say about that. It's just weird. No. How could Pippa and someone forget about Namika? It's as if he never knew her. Could the same thing have happened to the others as well, I wonder? One way to find out. Let's make inquiries about Namika in the area. We can reconvene afterwards at the Aetheryte. An old woman named Namika? I'm afraid I don't know that person. Sorry I couldn't be of help. I do recall caring for someone until recently. And you say that was a person named Namika? Well, I can't say for certain if it was her. I wouldn't worry. I'm sure she's just been taken up to the cloud. Yeah, that is actually a slightly horrific prospect. Do I know Namika? Never met anyone by that name. I've worked at the outskirts for a good while now. If you'd spent time here, I would remember. Like for everyone that should know you to just like suddenly not. It's just a horrific concept. It's the same for everyone. Not a single person remembers Namika, as if the memory of her has been purged from their minds. While such thing might be done with magic, to alter the memories of so many at once would be a tremendous undertaking. I've felt a surge of ether corresponding to the act too, and I sensed none of that in the moment. Neither did I, but I did know there's something else. Right before Pippa seemingly forgot, the light in the device on his head began to blink. Could there be a connection? We also said something about solar cells. Who might we ask about this? If we continue to make such inquiries, I suspect we would only cause confusion. If we can't readily solve the mystery about Namika, perhaps we could search for I don't remember how they pronounce that name. Pursue her instead. Let's venture to try the Thunderheads. Be in this direction. That's something I'm looking at us. It is. Impossible. It's like a glass dome with a screen inside. Another kind of mechanical soldier? It looks dangerous. We better destroy it. Ah. That does not look dangerous. Should we give chase? I think it understood our words. It might be worth asking it some questions. Anvil, you alright? You look like you've seen a ghost. It's nothing. I'm fine. Oh, I went on off in the direction we're headed anyway, so let's track it down. So it seems like the barrier keeps most of the lightning energy out, but there is some that pokes through, and that's why they've got the lightning rods. And they can also carry the charge back to the tower, which is presumably absorbing the energy and converting it to the shield. Into a hole of the wall. Okay. Found it. Northeast. They must be bound for the mines. Come on then. It could well be a trap, so let's not rush in too quickly. So there's a bit of fluff on my mouse, so I'll just sign that out. Faint voices coming from inside. So it's not alone. We're still going in, of course. Maybe a trap. Be ready for a fight, everyone. It's in Pico. That is a cool looking bat, I'm not gonna lie. Stop straight away. Hear them. Several people up ahead. Can't make out their conversation with the echo. Go on, stay on guard.
is this?
Aaronville!
A trap?
It really is you!
Huh?
Who?
I just had to get a look at you in the light. And I can still hardly believe my eyes. But it is you, my darling Elizabeth!
My darling, what now?
Oh, it's so good to see you, my fussy little bun bun. But what are you doing here? What brings you all this way?
Fussy little bun bun.
Why the long face? Aren't you happy to see me after all this time?
I'd know that laugh anywhere. Mother?
Wait. Since when was your mother a weird floating thing?
And what have we here? Say, aren't you Galul Jaja's kitten? I knew I recognized that adorable fuzzy face. Elenesphere was always so excited whenever you invited him over to play. You remember me, I hope?
I can't say that I do, but you know my father?
Appearances notwithstanding, it would seem this is my mother, Kafkiwa.
Kiwa, okay.
I'm sorry?
Oh, this won't do. Come in! Friends of my Elenesphere are always welcome.
All I ask is a little forewarning, but no.
Everyone just goes right back to what they were doing.
Just when I thought I was starting to get a handle on this place. How are things still getting stranger?
It's really weird how like, surely she knows that she's a weird robot thing, no? As far as I can tell, this is indeed my mother. I think a few people in the world are quite so spirited. But as to what's happened, we'll need to ask her. Let's see hear what she has to say. Wonderful to meet you all. Students of Baldessian. It's been a while since I heard that name. Dare I ask the reason for your appearance? Oh, this? It's just a body that I can control remotely. Who's this for our operations? Members of a resistance organization. Oblivion, we call ourselves. The goal is to thwart Zoralja's ambitions for conquest. As a leader, it's prudent that I remain where I can't be easily found. I see. Whimsical appearances notwithstanding, this is a serious cause. Right you are, though truth be told. Oblivion was founded for an altogether different purpose. And that is... As I might expect you've already noticed... as I expect you have already noticed, everything you see within this dome, the buildings, the people, the very earth beneath our feet, is a fusion of two worlds. Stopping such a fusion was Oblivion's original mission. Does that mean you know who or what is responsible for it? Right now. This was a long time ago, and our mission statement has become more a legend passed down to members. By the time we joined, our sole objectives were stopping Zoralja. We failed to do that too. Now he's taken his army outside the dome. Have you wear that strange device on your heads? Does that have something to do with your work? Yes? It's Regulator, a pinnacle of the electrope technology. That we don't wear... that we don't wear it is indeed related to our operations. What exactly does it do? Allow me to explain. Regulators have two primary functions. The first, as the name suggests, is the regulation of the wearer's reserve of souls. Should they die, the regulator expends a soul to bring them back to life. Reserve? You mean people walk around carrying spare souls? They do. Souls are packaged in cells, and they can be used to replenish the life force that is lost due to sudden death, such as accidents. Nothing for those who die of old age, though. Distribution of a soul cell is based on one's work evaluation. To encourage their performance when fulfilling their duties. It's also as a common resource and payment for services rendered. Avoid certain practice of consuming others for their ether comes to mind, and similarly, expect the act comes with some risk. Yeah, because I could fight for dominance of the souls. Doesn't dilute the sense of self. That is prevented due to memory management, a process in which the regulators also play a role. Memory management? Then the reason everyone's forgotten Mika's existence. Regulators are constantly recording the memories of their wearer, so if they should suddenly die, their memories can be refreshed as part of the restoration process. This is how they preserve one's identity and sense of self. However, the regulators are also triggered when someone else dies. The reason being is that the regulators forcibly extract memories related to the deceased from anyone wearing one. Why would they do such a thing? It's a kindness bestowed upon the people by Everkeep's core system, so that no one has to suffer the pain of loss. This is what they meant by their memories being in the cloud. Indeed, all memories of the deceased are wiped from the minds of people and archived in the system. It's a frightening function of the regulators, and an integral step in the soul cell production. When a person dies of natural causes, their soul is temporarily housed within the regulator. And delivered to a facility where memories are separated from the soul. The result is a fresh soul cell, free of impurities, ready for distribution and consumption. Was horrific. Meanwhile, the memories are stored in the core system to be remembered forever. Why people are happy here? At surface it's similar to the Yokui philosophy. I see nothing noble or comforting in it. Doesn't seem so terrible to me personally. All comes down to what you're used to, I suppose. Like the barrier encasing Alexandria. The system was created to overcome the calamity that transformed the world hundreds of years ago. Amidst the mounting death toll, scientists used Electro to devise a means to save what lives it could, the nation could endure. And that the people of Alexandria did what they believed was best to save their people. I find it hard to believe that Turali would accept this way of living. It came as a shock to us as well. In fact, a great many were opposed to it. Why the use of regulators was never compulsory. People have always been free to go without them if they wish. It didn't strike me as a sort of rule to impose her will on others. Ah, so you've already met. She's the one who suggested we come to the Thunder Yards in the first place. She also said she wants to help us stop Zeraldra. It's really kind of her to point you in my direction, and speak so candidly as well. Whatever her motives, she's given the people a choice. Live with the risk of true death or security of the regulators. Everything that lives must someday die. That's the natural order of things. Quite right. But however you feel about them, it would be easy to understand what the regulators are capable of if you saw it for yourself. I'm just supposed to show you, and as luck would have it, Should be starting work about now. What are we going to see exactly? Come with me and you'll find out. I mean, we have already seen one in action. We saw Zeraldra fall and get back up in combat. Yeah. It's not been that long since I heard it. I remember the first part is Kaf. Not sure if it's Kaf Kiwa or Kaf Chiwa. I wish my brain would like retain information on this. On here? Good. Responsibility of the Thunderyard's hunters to fell any fiends found wandering the area. Let's meet an acquaintance of mine, Streaker, one of these hunters, or Striker. Given they have similar naming conventions, and the I in Namika was an E sound, I'm assuming it is Streaker. Well, what are you doing here? With so many friends? Apologies for the interruption, but I was hoping I might observe you at work. Hunting me? That's fine, I guess. Hold on. I assumed they were wearing special regulators like Queen's Fiend's crown, but they aren't wearing anything at all. Much too dangerous to be here without one. After struck by lightning, attacked by beasts. I assure you they're quite capable of looking after themselves. If anything should go amiss, I will take full responsibility. Well, don't say I didn't warn you. Dangerous side. Isn't really much to see. Said you're a hunter. But wouldn't it be easier for those mechanical soldiers to guard this place? It would. Were not for the fact they're weak to lightning. And the odds being what it is, they've been ordered to steer clear. No good there, eh? But these facilities are vital to the upkeep of Alexandria's infrastructure, so it falls to hunters like me to deal with the fiends. Given the danger, we're compensated for our work. It's a perfect profession for anyone looking to build up savings. Special selection of souls for hunters isn't terrible either. I brought this out here to see the danger you speak of, if it's not too much trouble to ask. Ah, of course. In which case, it'd be a shame to waste my efforts just for any old beast. You can all handle yourselves in the fight, right? Because Rock is slaying what critters you can nearby, there's a chance you'll draw something out worthy of a demonstration. Not sure I understand, but I suppose we should slay what we can. Yeah. Like, I do get entirely it comes down to like a cultural thing. But the consumption of souls just seems wrong. That is a big boy. You know what, just so I don't waste it. Never mind, it did waste it because it was instant cast and not affected by the stack. That's tragic that you can't cheese it like that to get the well, to keep the proc. This one will do nicely. I'll help you. Fine, really. I face worse. Just watch. I don't like the looks of this. Let's help. No. Ah. Wolf Preserve. Healing. That was embarrassing. Caught me off guard. You mad? Seriously, let us help. I told you not to worry. Only take a moment. When they say a special selection of souls and then they do stuff like this. I think I like it, this world's like Mandervilles. They're ultra. Oh, let's get out of here. That's also a function of the regulator. Free limit break. Well, not free. Easy access to limit breaks. I can understand how Zeralja was able to return from the dead and defeat Papa. But I'm not sure what we saw at the end there. The regulator turned red. It was as if you were possessed. Your movements became beast-like. Don't tell me, you empowered yourself with the soul of a beast? I reminded of the serpentine soldier we encountered in the Vanguard, who did the same. So you've crossed paths with one of the King's elite. Such form can only be achieved by gorging yourself on souls. You could do the same, in theory. Incredibly dangerous. Besides, it's not as if they'd allow hunters to carry that many souls to begin with. Well, I should be getting back to work. Take care. There you have it. Regulators can be loaded with two kinds of souls. Those of people and those of beasts. Souls of people can be used to grant the user preternatural strength. Naturally, they can also be used to ensure no one suffers an untimely death. What about the souls of beasts? They work in much the same function, imbuing with the strength of the chosen animal. If, for example, you use the soul of a wolf, you grow more agile and feral, as you saw with Streaker. Using several of the same type at once, however, would result in physical changes. Your Your teeth might become fangs, your nails claws. Too many and you become a beast, more beast than man. One's formed through the souls of other beings becomes more and more reminiscent of Void Scent. Unlike the Void, where the cycle of death and rebirth is simply broken, souls here are forcibly taken, or they might reach the ethereal sea. Different means to achieve similar ends. A cycle to which all the dumb are bound. Wrong. This is so wrong. Indeed, it's hard to accept being so far removed from our own beliefs. Perhaps more shocking is that the technology to achieve all this was developed hundreds of years ago. Realization and the reflections are surprising indeed. But we have our own thoughts on souls. Now the important thing we know is we all have our own our thoughts on souls. But now the important thing is we know what power Zeralja has at his disposal. One thing to separate corporeal ether from incorporeal ether, but to strip memories of this all entirely is unprecedented technology. No longer only Tuliola's concern. His newfound powers, Zeralja has become a threat to the entire world. He has to be stopped, no matter the cost. I trust you've gained insight into the use of souls in Alexandria. It's shocking, I know. I was overwhelmed myself at first. I expect you'll need some time to digest it all. But for now, let's head back to Earth and Sky. At this rate, something I want to discuss with everyone. Let's take a moment before we head into the tunnel. Yeah, and the lightning and the thunder yards. What's jank is my M key is broken near the bottom. If I press it at the top it works fine, but if I press it near the bottom it doesn't work like at all unless I press and hold it. So I kind of need to change my keyboard, but at the same time I kind of don't need to because M isn't really a overly used key. Sorry for delaying this, but I have some thoughts I need to share. In both technology and values, I think there's a wide gulf between Tuliolal and Alexandria. While Zeralja knows everything about us, we hardly know anything about what he's become. Indeed, we haven't seen what lies within that enormous tower Everkeep. So here I'd like to make a proposal. That is, work with Kafchua and the people. We need to learn as much as we can about the enemy. The quickest way would be to join hands with Oblivion. We've only just met them, I know, but we shouldn't be too quick to trust. But the fact remains, they share our desire to stop Zeralja. Sphene too claims to be at odds with the King of Resolve. May I ask why you would cooperate with Oblivion instead? Simple, really. The leader is Erenfel's mother. Well, whatever Sphene may feel, she's ruler of her nation. There's a greater risk in working with her, and less reason to take her at her word. Fair point. I know Zeralja. We must assume that his arrangement with Sphene was not made without some consideration. All I know is it would be a hard thing to have allies in the strange realm. Everyone would agree that any help we can get would be welcome. Hold on. There's no guarantee that this is actually my mother behind the machine. Without seeing her in the flesh, can't rule out the possibility of a ploy. It turns out to be a trap. We endanger not only ourselves, but everyone in Tuliolal. You say there's no proof it really is Kafchua. But I make my proposal in full awareness of this. If we're going to war or striking for peace, we need to learn as much as we can. Otherwise, we can't hope to do anything meaningful. As it stands, we know too little about this realm. We need to remedy that. We need to study the enemy, and when the time comes, strike down Zeralja for good and all. Small. I trust you, Erenfell. You've always had great instincts, honed from your time training under your mother. I'm wrong. Our sentiment is clouding my judgment. Yeah, if it's a trap, we'll deal with it when it's sprung. That's always a way of it, too. Fine. If you're said this, I'll say no more. It's settled. Let's head inside and secure ourselves some new allies. We got 98 quests yet. Nope, still 97. I find it really strange how you like out-level the MSQ. Sure, there's something I need to tell you and your people. I came here for no other reason than to strike down Zeraldra. But I thought he was your brother. I don't mean to kill your own kin. My kin invaded our nation and murdered our people. As vow of resolve, it falls to me to bring him to account. I'm prepared to do what I must. I won't hesitate when the time comes. Like us, you and yours oppose Zeraldra. In light of this, I propose we work together to stop him once and for all. I realize that this is sudden, that it's a gamble to trust someone you've only just met. But I would trust in the connection of anyone who shares my goal. So fight with me, I beg you. As you say, our goals align, and I don't doubt your resolve in the least. If you hadn't proposed working together, I would have done so instead. Truth be told, it's been tough going it alone. While I've gathered ample intelligence, I don't have the strength to take decisive action. Besides, how could we not trust you? My only son is with you. My fussy little bun-bun. All the reason I need? Then it's decided. It's for fruitful collaboration. Thank you, Kafchua. Everyone. Together we'll achieve great things, I'm sure of it. Then let's not waste time. I'm wondering about Zeraldra's whereabouts. Is that a replacing? Palace, not place. That's why I'm screwing up. Is there a palace inside that tower? After a fashion. The king resides on the uppermost level. Well, while the queen's fiend has a penchant for going out in public, he seldom shows himself. What's more, his movements are highly classified. Not even his commanders are privy to that information. If anyone knows where he is at any given time, it would only be the queen. Even if we don't know his whereabouts, Roger will eventually march on Tulliola again. That's when we can go after him. The drawback is we'd have to wait for the invasion to happen. Innocents would be put in harm's way. There's also the possibility he'll leave everything to his minions and not command the army in person. No. We'll take the field. What makes you so certain? My brother has always yearned to surpass our father. That's why he attacked Tulliola. After waiting for 30 years, the first thing he wanted to do was demonstrate his newfound strength. But killing Papa didn't satisfy him. Now he's bent on proving himself stronger than me and Kona, who bests him in the right of succession. He challenged me to strike him down. He wants a duel to show everyone that he's superior to the Dawn Servant. He won't let his minions deprive him of the pleasure. Then why hasn't he appeared and given you your chance? Surely he's aware of your presence here. That I can only guess. Perhaps he wants to dazzle us with his wondrous realm. But if he won't deign to appear, then we'll force him to do so. This hairstyle looks like Thancred's. I'm not sure if this is like alternate world Thancred or not. Even as we gather intelligence, we make no move to attack him. Show absolutely no interest in a confrontation. Knowing him, he'll tire of waiting and turn his attention to Kona instead. He'll attack Tulliola again, like he said he would. See, if you believe this is the best approach, then we have no objections. A campaign against Tuliolel requires Zoralja to lead his forces through Vanguard. We'll have lookouts, keep an eye on it day and night. Such a strategy is certainly viable. We're proceeding with it though, we should warn those outside. Indeed, they'll need time to prepare the defences. I should be glad to coordinate our efforts. I'm already in regular contact with Ishtola. We'll make sure to keep our comrades apprised of developments. Leave Vanguard to us. Send word the first sign movement. Seems we have a plan. We'll wait for Zoralja to move. You would do well to prepare for the battle. And it begins in familiarizing yourself with the technology that empowers him. To that end, I'll show you to Oblivion's main headquarters. Oh? I thought this place was it. You'd be impressed to know that we're located right inside that tower, in the residential district of Solution 9. Hiding in a tree in the forest, as it were. Oh, hiding a tree in the forest. Well, the question is how to get you through the checkpoint. Ah, about that. Sphene said that she'd make it so we could enter without issue. Did? Curious. Not supposed to have authority over the sentries. If I were to recall correctly, should we be registered as guests? I see. Perhaps we're in the clear then. When you're ready, come meet me at the tower entrance. Before you head out, here's a moment to introduce ourselves properly, eh? After all, names are good to know when you're working together. Nostalgia. Alright. While Oblivion has operatives all over, we're the main crew here. I'm Geode, lead with the Sido. And the dependable young twins behind me are Nostalgia, and Wayakwe. Hi Nostalgia, pleasure to meet you. My sister and I were born and raised inside the barrier. We've been with Oblivion for 3 years, and our main duties are surveillance and provisioning. Twins, eh? That explains the resemblance. Wayakwe is an Owatin name, unless I'm mistaken. Right. Our mother is Tuliolel, our father is Alexandrian. They wanted to honour both cultures. Beautiful names. Thank you. Though I have no memories of my mother, I'd like to think I carry a part of her with me. So what made you decide to join Oblivion? I wanted to avenge our father. Ambrose was his name, and years ago I was taken away after a scuffle with a soldier over a disagreement. It was a minor incident, so at first we clung to the hope that he'd be released. But when months went without word from him, or about him, we made the decision to remove our regulators. We'd already lost memories of our mother. We didn't want to lose those of our father as well. They've all forgotten about him now. Everyone had known him. Even here, he thinks nothing of his own people. Sometime later, we were approached by a member of Oblivion. To get justice for our father, we joined the Order. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to darken the mood. No, I appreciate you sharing this. Together, we'll avenge your father. Thank you. Something tells me you have what it takes. Brace yourself too. Go on. It's pretty much the same story for me. Well, mine is a ton about a name. I haven't the faintest how things are outside the barrier. My dream to go and see it with my own eyes, my mother's homeland. Once peace is restored, you must come and visit. The vaults are beautiful, the food's delicious, and everyone's so nice. You'll love it. And that's us here. You meet the others in the back room. That's our headquarters. Some of them are a little eccentric, but they have good hearts and all. Ah, an Eshbia. One last thing. It isn't exactly my place to say this, but thank you for seeking out Kavchua. Talks about you so much. It's clear how important you are to her. That's all. Be good to your mother while you still can, eh? Well, we'll let you go now. Feel free to use this hideout as you like. Meanwhile, in Everkeep. I'm assuming that's all the memories stored there.
You've been consorting with Wook Lamont. No matter. I do not know what you are scheming, but when your realm lay on the brink, you were powerless. You had no choice but to turn to me. Whatever sentiment you may feel for her, it is my power you require, is it not?
Perhaps. And yet, knowing the love that Wook Lamont bears for her people, how she regards them all as kin, I cannot help but wish to spare her the same pain I have suffered. What's more, her friends possess new knowledge. Were we to work together, we might find another path. I know you're loath to consider it, but is there no hope for peace with Tuliolo? What we've already done may be unforgivable, but it needn't continue. You needn't kill your brother and sister.
I slew my only flesh and blood. Yet you attempt to sway me with an appeal to family. The memory of my father's final moments still fills me with disappointment. Age came for him before I did. For long years, I sought to prove the miracle. And weak as he was, defeating him achieved nothing. To kill them is my only recourse. Wook Lamont and Kona, who bested him as he was in his prime.
They are still your siblings, even if not by blood. That such bonds should mean so little to you.
I am bound to no one. Serve none save myself. I made that clear when first you spoke to me in the Golden City. Remember, I can easily kill your beloved family. If you would protect them, cast aside any foolish notions. Your wisdom and abilities are valuable insofar as our goals align. So think well before you act, Queen of Reason. Wook Lamont, if you are father's worthy successor, then you will find your way to me. But should you fall short, I will lay waste to Tuli Yolal.
What now?
Well, that could be an issue. Right, got yours waiting. Let's head to the tower. We might have issues getting in. She's essentially been told she's not allowed to help out. But I guess, in a way, that's the same as the trials. Because folks were told not to help. And did the trials anywhere? Difference is, we're able to assist this time. Very shiny floor. Ah, there you are. Sorry, I just need to check because in the back of my head I thought I'd mute my microphone, so I just had to check. If Queen's Fiend has registered you as guests, you'll be able to match right in. If she hasn't, then you may have a swarm of Zaraja's minions to deal with. Right, but Siv's Fiend has betrayed us, eh? For your diligent service, friends, my companions I wish like to pass, if you'd be so kind. Outrunner Guide unit identified. Registration number verified. 6 accompanying civilians identified, verifying credentials. Credential verified. Welcome, guests of Queen's Fiend. What relief. There you have it. It seems the Queen was true to her word. Follow me, everyone. Solution 9 awaits. There we go. Sorry, my elbow felt like it needed popping. Ooh, fancy bike.
Everkeep. A tower of electrope piercing a perpetual shroud of storm clouds. Occupying the 9th level of this 12-tiered structure is a residential district called Solution 9. In so naming their home, what hopes did its founders harbor for it? And did it prove the answer they sought?
are more districts throughout the tower, including industrial ones, but Solution 9 is the largest.
Just being here makes my head spin.
Perfectly natural reaction. A city of shimmering electrobe, replete with strange technologies that cater to every conceivable need. We never dreamed of the life back home in Tuliolo. Now, while I go and explain the situation to those in the back room, why not take a moment to explore? I believe lived experiences are far more educational than dry explanations. And you want to know more about Sphene and Zoologist Dominion, do you not?
I had a feeling you'd be keen.
Just to confirm, while we have been allowed inside, are we also permitted to roam?
Absolutely. As Sphene's registered guest, you'll find you're exempt from the sentry scrutiny. The elevator to the uppermost level. I wouldn't go near that. But other areas should be fine provided you act like you belong.
All right then, we'll show ourselves around.
Yes. Familiarizing ourselves with the technology here will help us prepare for the battles to come.
Try not to enjoy yourselves too much, or you're liable to attract attention.
Once you've explored to your satisfaction, come to the entrance to True View in the eastern sector. The way from there is a little complicated, so I'll send someone to guide you.
Understood. We'll see you later. I shall speak with the residents. Perhaps one of them will recognize the earring.
What's with this place? How can this all be the inside of a tower?
So, what aren't you telling me? Where are you?
That, I can't reveal yet. Precautions, you understand. Just know that I'm safe. But come, tell me about your adventurer friend. You seem to have a great deal of faith in him. You must have been through a lot together.
Might say that. For instance, we found the entrance to the Golden City.
Wait, what? You did? Kalanaspir, why didn't you mention this sooner?
You want to explore together? It's not that I'm scared or anything. Everything is just so different from home is all.
Noah! Lamati!
Sphene!
I was worried you might have had trouble at the checkpoint, but I see everything went according to plan.
Well, that's thanks to you.
Now, I know you've scarcely arrived, but I have a request to make of you.
Oh, a request, you say?
Yes, an important one.
Details?
I'll say it plain. I want you to make peace with Zoralja.
What? I thought you said you weren't on his side.
We have come no closer to seeing eye to eye, nor do I condone his methods. Be that as it may, I don't want you to fight him. I don't want you to regret a decision made in anger and haste. Unequipped with regulators as you are, the risk is too great.
I appreciate your concern, but you ask the impossible. Zoralja murdered our father. His minions slaughtered our countrymen. He will never renounce his war. As vow of resolve, it falls to me to stop him. I know you love your people too, and so you must understand how I feel. Why I cannot, will not back down.
I do understand. All too well. Let me say only this then. Zoralja will use any means to win. If you would protect your people, return to them at once and prepare. Prepare as best you can. It may ring hollow coming from the queen of an enemy nation. But unlike me, you still have the power to determine your own fate.
You really are a curious one. Look, you needn't worry for us. We have dependable comrades holding the fort in Tulihyolal. They'll keep everyone safe, so we can devote our attention to affairs here.
Please. So you have comrades on whom you can rely. I envy you.
You know, we'd like to learn more about you.
About me?
To be frank, we're still not sure whether or not you're trustworthy. So, if you have a moment, would you show us around the district? That way, we can get to know you better.
You're asking me, the Queen, to show you around? Oh, but I jest. I'm flattered that you've taken an interest in me. Very well, I shall be your guide. You're my guests, after all, and teaching you about my realm would be a pleasure in and of itself. If you like, I can introduce you to my citizens, too. I consider them family, as you do yours.
By all means, we're in your capable hands.
That you are. This will be an enjoyable and enlightening tour, I promise.
Weirdness aside, it seems to be going okay. We're going almost 2 hours now, so I'm gonna stop this here and we'll pick up in a tad. Catch you next time.